If you grew up in the 60s, there's a good chance you recall Bewitched, that memorable show with Elizabeth Montgomery portraying the life of Samantha. But behind the lights and cameras, the star's life was not as magical. From the abuse inflicted by her father to the torment endured at the hands of her husbands. Join us today as we go into Elizabeth Montgomery's story and all the sadness that has riddled her life. Elizabeth Montgomery was born in Los Angeles, California on April 15, 1933. She was the daughter of Broadway actress Elizabeth Daniel Bryan Allen and the well-known film star Robert Montgomery. Her mother hailed from Kentucky while her father was a New Yorker. Montgomery's roots were a blend of Irish and Scottish descent. Her great-grandfather Archibald Montgomery was originally from Belfast and made a significant journey to the United States in 1849. Further research uncovered a surprising connection in her family tree after Elizabeth Montgomery's death. She was found to be the sixth cousin once removed of Lizzie Borden, a woman famously acquitted in 1893 for the murder of her father and stepmother. In a twist of fate, Montgomery portrayed Lizzie Borden in the 1975 television film The Legend of Lizzie Borden, unaware at the time that Borden was in fact a distant relative of hers. Elizabeth Montgomery had a unique charm that captivated audiences far and wide. However, there was one person whose approval she longed for but struggled to receive: her father, Robert Montgomery. As a celebrated movie star and with her mother, Elizabeth Allen, a Broadway actress who left her career to support him, Robert had reservations about his daughter pursuing acting. Despite this, Elizabeth was determined. She went on to study at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in Manhattan. In a bid to prove herself, she even got a role on her father's TV show, Robert Montgomery Presents, in 1951. However, her father's stance didn't soften easily. Elizabeth's success on Broadway, where she earned a significant praise, didn't seem to change her father's critical view. He often sent her notes pointing out what she didn't do right on stage, reflecting his tough and unwavering expectations. This dynamic paints a picture of Elizabeth's relentless pursuit of her passion amidst the challenge of seeking approval from her toughest critic. Elizabeth Montgomery's relationship with her father was complex and deeply affected by her observations of his role as a husband. She saw that Robert Montgomery wasn't particularly kind or attentive to her mother, which led to resentment. As a married woman, Elizabeth harbored deep reservations about having her father around, regardless of which of her marriage was under consideration. She was reluctant to expose her children to him, likely due to the haunting memories and intense emotions she carried from her own childhood experiences. This strained relationship with her father influenced her own choices and partners. Elizabeth was determined to find a man who was the opposite of her father. Her experiences with her father shaped her expectations and desires in her personal relationships, as she sought the affection and warmth she felt was lacking in her childhood home. Elizabeth Montgomery was married 4 times, each riddled with difficulties, often reflecting unstable relationships. Part of this pattern might have stemmed from what some perceived as a father complex, where she often found herself attracted to older men, relationships that unfortunately led to instances of mistreatment. Her first marriage was with New York socialite Frederick Gallatin Caman in March 1954. This union seemed unexpected to many. Her father was initially pleased with this match as Frederick was the same age as Elizabeth. However, the marriage quickly revealed its cracks. The issue at the heart of their union was a conflict of aspirations. Frederick desired a traditional wife, while Elizabeth was driven to pursue her career as a star. This fundamental mismatch led to their divorce just a year later. Elizabeth Montgomery's second attempt at marriage was with actor Gig Young, whom she wed in 1956. This union, however, was far from a fairy tale. Her father, Robert Montgomery, who had been pleased with her first marriage, was notably displeased with this one. Young was an older actor around Robert's age, and this choice seemed to go against her father's wishes deliberately. Elizabeth seemed to enjoy the reaction this marriage elicited from her father. Despite these rebellious choices, Montgomery was known for her down-to-earth nature and significant contributions to helping the disabled. These qualities and her undeniable charm were the key reasons why she was beloved, particularly in her role in Bewitched. However, her marriage to Gig Young was troubled. Young struggled with serious issues including alcohol abuse and potential mental health challenges. Their marriage ended in divorce in 1963, Tragically, Gig Young's life ended in a harrowing incident. In 1978, 3 weeks after marrying his fourth wife, Kim Schmidt, Young took both her life and his own, leaving many questions unanswered and no clear motive for his actions. Elizabeth met William Asher, a director and TV producer 12 years her senior, while filming the 1963 movie Johnny Cool. Their connection developed amidst a complicated backdrop. Asher was separating from his first wife and was involved with multiple women at the time. Despite these complexities, Elizabeth and William eventually married. Asher, preoccupied with his career in directing and producing, often failed to notice the growing unhappiness of his wife. This emotional distance took a toll on their marriage, ending in 1974. Amidst these personal challenges, Elizabeth and William had 3 children. They tried to provide a stable and nurturing environment for their kids despite the ups and downs of their marriage. Their son, Willie, found his own path in creativity and art. He shares that he was always drawn to arts and music from a young age. His journey into music began with guitar lessons, spurred by his friend's interest in the instrument. This passion for guitars was further ignited in a woodshop class in high school, where he realized guitars were crafted from wood. This realization marked the beginning of what would become a unique and successful career for Willie, who went on to become a renowned guitar maker, crafting custom guitars for notable clients over the past 15 years. After enduring a series of unstable and abusive relationships, Elizabeth Montgomery had almost given up on the idea of marriage, though not on love itself. During the filming of the TV movie Mrs. Sundance, she met actor Robert Foxworth. Their connection was instant and powerful. They shared a unique bond, and notably, Foxworth was the first man Elizabeth had been involved with who was younger than her. He hadn't seen any episodes of Bewitched, which Elizabeth found endearing. Despite his repeated marriage proposals, Elizabeth initially resisted the idea of marrying again. However, after 2 decades together, she finally agreed, and the couple married in 1993. Elizabeth's later years were marked by a flourishing career where she played a wide range of characters in television movies, showcasing her versatile acting skills. However, her life was tragically cut short when she passed away from colon cancer on May 18, 1995, at the age of 62. The progression of her illness was rapid, with only about 7 weeks from diagnosis to her passing. Foxworth recalls her desire not to have people mourn her loss excessively. Elizabeth Montgomery's life, filled with public success and personal challenges, also included moments of complexity in her relationships. She reportedly had an affair with Alexander Godunov. This occurred during a period when she was living with Robert Foxworth, though they were not yet married. The timing of this affair and its end coincided with a period of significant loss. Strikingly, Alexander Godunov passed away on the same day as Elizabeth Montgomery, May 18, 1995. However, it is believed that Godunov's actual date of death was a few days before Montgomery's. Elizabeth initially overlooked symptoms that resembled the flu while working on the film Deadline for Murder from the files of Edna Buchanan, which she completed in late March 1995. Unfortunately, her cancer was diagnosed at a late stage and had already metastasized from her colon to her liver. Faced with the reality that her condition was terminal and preferred to spend her remaining time in familiar surroundings, Montgomery chose to return to her Beverly Hills home, which she shared with Robert Foxworth. She passed away in the morning of May 18, 1995 at the age of 62. Following her passing, Elizabeth Montgomery's body was cremated, bringing an end to the life of an actress who had touched many through her work and personal struggles. Her legacy continues to be remembered by those who admired her talent and resilience.